Guys, playing Wiz today. Oh, hold up. Taking the timer even though I don't need it. Too easy. So, got a little story to tell. Don't want to get right into it though. Gotta get to playing Wiz first. Gotta warm up. It's a good story though, guys. You should stick around. It's about God. A story about God. Deep mushroom. What the heck? Dude, where's my cursor? Alright, got a picture. Stone block. One of my favorites. I just feel like you can do a lot of stuff with it. Gold. One of my favorites. Guess we gotta defeat Ozil. Ozil underwater cat. Cool. Life, huh? Yeah. So I'm just filling my deck with a bunch of crap. Like I was saying, this game's too easy. We'll blade up. Not gonna discard anything, because discarding is for pansies. Well. Gonna put this on that guy. Got a few heals, so that's good. In case I get in trouble. Nice. Gonna put this on this guy now. Well, what do you think, guys? Where should the hex go? I'm gonna try to take this guy out fast. I knew he was gonna do that. Watch me block this. Nice one, bro. What's this cat doing underwater? Oh, the story. I was gonna tell a story. So, yeah, Jesus. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I mean, that's pretty much where the story goes. So yeah, been trying to believe it for a while. Because it seemed plausible, but I was just like, is it really true? Anyway, that's a whole story. That's a whole long story. I won't get into all that, but probably July 2025, I would say. I'm in this circle, so it's called at my church, discussing the weekend message, right? And we're discussing doubts. One of the guys in there, who I've known for like nearly a year at that point, from the same circle, he's just like, yeah, I mean, sometimes I have a thought like, oh, is any of this even real? And then I remember back in my life, and I go, oh, yeah, definitely real. And then that caught my attention. I was like, what? What do you remember in your life that makes you go, oh yeah, it's definitely real? So, yeah, this is where it gets interesting, guys. Listen up. He tells me this story of his wife, who wasn't his wife at the time, his maybe fiance at the time, or maybe they were just dating. So she was really sick. She had a serious list of health conditions, really. I don't remember all of them. Things like epilepsy was one of the minor ones. Narcolepsy too, another one of the minor ones. Heard something about cancer too. I don't even know. It was a long list of things. And she was prayed over in the name of Jesus, and overnight she was healed. Now, how do you explain that? That's just a plain miracle. So yeah, after that it was like, okay, I think I'm a believer now. Because before that it was like, yeah, it could be real, but if it is, I don't think I belong to Jesus. That was beforehand. But after that, I was like, oh, I'm a real believer. Let's go. No, I mean, really, I was like, hallelujah. It's true. But then after a little bit of that, so, for 2 months, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Just living the Christian life, for the most part. It seemed great. And then a few months later, I'm reading the Bible, a couple months later maybe, and I get to some parts that make me think, oh, maybe I can't come back. Maybe I've denied Jesus too many times, or maybe I'm too late, maybe the wrong way to put it. I've tried to be a Christian before and then given up. I come to parts of the Bible and I'm like, oh, maybe I can't come back. So that sends me into kind of like, moping around. And one night I'm just praying like, God, I believe you still love me. I just gotta trust you to show me that. So the next day I'm just walking around campus. I'm in college, right? Next day I'm walking around campus. I have this crazy experience. It's not gonna make sense if I explain it. But, I just went up to a guy and started talking to him. It was the experience. But in the experience, the way I experienced it, I was like, I'm certain I'm in the presence of God right now. God is speaking to me through this person. It was a pretty strong experience. And so I told a lot of people that day about that experience, and it probably kind of sounded crazy to them, but I did it anyway. And I gotta heal up. Nice crit. I hardly ever use this spell. Okay, back to the story. So I was telling a bunch of people this story, and one of the women in my class, I told her, she's a little older than me, she's married, and she's a believer, so that's why I told her. And she tells me, oh, you should speak to my husband, he used to be a pastor, was the gist. So she gives me his number, we start texting, and then we sit down and talk to each other a few days later, and he starts telling me about miracles he's experienced. Before this, I hadn't heard of any miracles, not from people in person. I've looked online for testimonies, but I'm like, anybody can say these things. Is this really true? But now in a 2-month span, I've met people who seem trustworthy. This guy I just met, but he seemed really trustworthy. And he was telling me about a bunch of crazy things. Well, 2 crazy things. 2 miracles is a lot of miracles that this guy experienced. The first guy from the circle was also one, so that's 3 now that I've heard of in a 2-month span. I'll heal again, why not? Anyway, the first thing that this guy told me, we were having a conversation for a few hours. We talked about a lot of things. But on the miracle front, or you could say divine, supernatural experience, I guess you could put it in that category, he was describing to me the way he came to be a Christian. And he told me his experience he had. He was sitting on a rock, I guess, outside somewhere, probably in a beautiful place. Based on how the story goes, it was probably a beautiful place. And he was just sitting around admiring the scenery. Maybe his friends were there, I don't know, off in the distance. And he describes having this spiritual experience where he starts seeing white and stuff and feeling like he's going to die and stuff. Like, I don't know. And then he hears, this is what I made you to be. So, I don't know. It sounds like a crazy experience. That was the first one. Second one, he has some pain and then some guy prays and it goes away. Just supernaturally divine intervention type things that I had never heard of before. I had never heard from people I know, people I have spoken to. But after these, I'm just thinking, man, these must just happen all the time. But yeah, believe it or not, you should believe it though. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about that story. I mean, I watched a lot of testimonials on YouTube before. None of them really hit me with that conviction of belief. That lasted anyway, but once I heard it in person, I was like, wow, it's really true. So I wouldn't expect very many people to come away from this video going, oh yeah, it's true, my goodness, with that kind of conviction. But my sense is like a good 1 in 10 people are going to have experiences you can't explain, just supernatural type experiences. They just don't talk about them because they don't want to seem crazy, but they're out there, they're everywhere. I just never thought to ask the people I know, but I started asking people like my mom. She's even had experiences that she can't explain. So yeah, pretty weird stuff. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna do another fight. I'm gonna try to make it even harder. Maybe fewer heals, gotta be more defensive. This sound.
You are about
like
to enter a dungeon.
Big bad dungeon. It's one of these. Little tower. That'll be good. Nice.
Ahoya! Ahoya! Azure shining one.
Oh, this guy
in
died.
vain I sacrificed myself.
I think I recorded
in
it
vain
too.
I tried to resist.
I was recording
the
another
Shadow
video,
Queen.
but it was trash. But I do still have the recording of this guy dying. That was the craziest cinematic experience I've ever seen in this game.
Shadow Queen, daughter of spiders, mother of lies, your time is done. Ahoya! Ahoya! The Feather Palace shall be our tomb. Is pulling the oldest children of Azteca back from
Sure
the
thing,
beyond and chaining them.
Big boss here. More
Hello,
gang.
wizard. You certainly didn't think a roof cave
Who's
in would
this
finish
guy?
me off. I've had enough time to...
What's she saying? Wow.
The Pathetic. Our
Sorry,
ancient.
I'll let it... Okay, dang it. What?
Pathetic isn't unprepared. Let's make King Neza join the duel too.
Who's that? Wow. 2 bosses. Wait, isn't that the guy that I just, I'm gonna go refill on health. We got 29 minutes, guys. We'll make it. Nice. This key was found in a silver chest. It sure was. Have I found this yet? Wow, I hadn't found that yet. Just wandering around actually did something productive. Imagine finding all the UFOs on your own time instead of looking it up like a normal person does. Kind of reminds me of the obsidian chest quest somewhere in Dragonspire. That used to be a pain. I'm pretty sure it didn't even used to tell you where they were. To anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, which is probably everyone, Dragonspire used to be the end of the game. And there was a quest in Dragonspire where you go around all the worlds, just somewhere, and you find these obsidian chests. And it didn't tell you where they were, it just said go find them. And then, so the first person to do that without anyone to help them, what a pain. Now it has an arrow, so you just go around and find these chests, but it didn't always have that. Alright, let's do this. It's kind of getting late. I might give up. Maybe I use sun spells. Maybe I am allowed to discard. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. If I lose, I'm just logging off. I'm going to bed. Okay, let's do this. Gonna put a weakness on you right off the bat. I'll put another weakness on him. Here we go. Desperately needed this. Got 3 more of them. Not even a crit. That's not good. Kinda needed a crit. He's gonna take my blade, isn't he? Really need all my heals right now. Give me a heal, please. No. I think I can take him out with this judgment. Don't really have much of a choice. Wow. That's really unfortunate. Wow. That is crap. What if these guys just both pass? I'm gonna use Balance of Power, hope they both pass. Maybe I can smack them with the Judgment next turn. I can heal. No, he did not pass. Any crits, I have a trap on. This game sucks. Goodbye. Guys, I'm gonna make a little Kerbal Space program today. It's not that hard. This is why I studied physics. So we begin by going to space. So we launch again. Boom. Watch this. Oh. I wonder what that is over there. Wow, it's really getting close, huh? Dude. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't think they would actually collide. That's crazy. Let me just review my notes here. What do we do? The heck did I write, man? So this equals some stuff. It's not important. From the Force and stuff. What the heck, Lois? Rectum, huh? Simulatus rectum.
Welcome back to another episode.
It's not supposed to do that. There we are. Nice. This thing is not very accurate. Oh, I hit one at about 10 kilometers. I'm gonna blast him. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.